Hey, a few people asked me to do a quick toolbox tour of my new Harbor Freight full bank service cart. I don't do a lot of videos, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing this, so hopefully it's at least somewhat interesting, and if not, you can always hit skip. At any rate, this is a U.S. General full bank service cart. Picked it up fairly recently, and it's awesome. It's great. I have a ton of tools that I've been able to fit in there, and it's my go-to now for pretty much everything that I'm doing. I still have some big boxes that I use, and they're completely full, and I've sort of migrated all my frequently used tools to this box and keep all the backups and larger tools and specialty tools. Not a professional, working garage, and one of my babies is this 85 911 930 turbo, which I've been doing some work on. And that's my motivation for having tools, is to do work on my own cars. So, U.S. General box, debadged, destickered, safety labels removed. I figure I know well enough to not kill myself with my own toolbox. Modifications are, I added a second handle. Harbor Freight sent it to me, prepaid shipping for, I think it was like, I don't know, 15 bucks, something like that. So I have handles on both sides, which I think just makes a lot more sense. On the outside of the box, I use nut drivers frequently. I really like a lot of German tools. These are Wera nut drivers, craft forms. I have some others as well, but this is a nice set for hanging on the box. Some parts trays. Show you the top here. This is kind of my main go-to area. The main section with sockets and ratchets, and the upper section with more sockets, ratchets, specialty ratchets. Here we have an Icon semi-deep set, which I actually just picked up fairly recently. Didn't have a semi-deep set before. They're nice, really decent for Taiwanese tools. Nice chrome, nice fit, nice finish. I think these Easy Red socket rails are freaking awesome. Oh, I was just gonna say how they never fall off, and I managed to shake one off. But in general, they stay on there pretty good. And you can take them with you to the car if you're working on it. They're flexible. You can stick them somewhere else. Sockets come off very easily as well, so they're pretty good. These are Koken nut grip sockets. They have little ball bearings in there that hold the nut or the bolt in place. And this is a fairly recent addition. They're awesome. Love them. These are sort of my go-to combination wrenches, Matco. I've had them forever. Have a SK open end set here for when I need a second wrench. Mostly specialty sockets. You see a lot of Torx, E-Torx, triple squares on German cars, hex, more triple squares. These two rails are just adapters, not drivers. Down here we have Icon deep 1/2 inch, snap-on 1/2 inch, snap-on 3/8, deep and regular. Astro pinless, these are really nice. This is a fairly recent addition, but they work great. Snap-on quarters. These are inserts for gear wrench drives to give you a low profile wrench. Don't need them that much anymore because I bought the Astro low profile nano sockets with the wrench. Nice for low clearance applications. Doing everything with my left hand here. A cheap set of impacts. Deep hex, Torx, shallow hex. This is sort of my go-to ratchet collection, my grab and go. So I have some 1/4" snap-on Astro. I love these Astro ratchets. They're cheap, super well made, beautifully balanced, smooth, low back drag. They look good, they clean easily. The switches are good and not in the way. The balance is just awesome. I'm gonna have this snap-on 1/4". That's probably, I don't know, 10 times the price. It's got a, quite honestly, terrible balance to it. The head's way bigger. It's way thicker. And well, they both have lifetime warranties and I haven't broken either. Snap-on flex head. Coke-in ratchets are somewhat newer to me and I love them. This is a 3/8 inch and a micro body flex head, quick release, super nice. Bigger Coke-in. Again, the balance on these is so nice compared to really the truck bands. Tone, Japanese brand, either made in Japan or made in Taiwan, depending on who you believe. The packaging all says made in Japan. So that's what I'm going to choose to believe until I see differently, but they certainly are very similar to some Taiwanese manufacturer. But super nice ratchets. Very low back drag. Not as cheap as the Astros, but very reasonable, like 30 bucks each. And I have them in a couple of different sizes. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's tiny with a 3/8 inch head. More standard 3/8, long pattern 3/8, and a 1/2 inch. I keep more ratchets in my drawer below, but that's sort of my grab and go. And then this is the long pattern wrench for the Astro Nanos. Here we have Weeha bit driver and some bit selection, some tiny little power drivers. On the side, super long screwdrivers for the few times you need it. I modified the cart also. I put grommets. You can see these black and white grommets here because most of the holes were too big for the tools that I wanted to put in there. And it was a little bit of a pain to find the right size grommets, but once you find them, it is so much better than having those big metal holes. So long screwdrivers. These are Coke-in socket drivers, and they have a really cool feature on them where they wobble. So you can line things up, and then you push it down, and it locks. Doing everything with my left hand here. It locks. And I'll tell you, these in combination with these Coke-in nut grips is just awesome for getting something started. The nut or the bolt or the screw stays in there. Super grippy handle. You can line it up, drive it in. And I have these in 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. The number 3 Phillips, just because my screwdriver sets in the box don't have that. Snap-on screwdriver. I hate these. I keep it because I own it, but I think these handles are terrible. I know some people love them. My favorite handles, oh, this is a Weeha 7mm for hose clamps on a flex, but Weeha screwdrivers, my favorite handle. These and the Weiras. They last forever. They're super grippy. They're not the heaviest duty screwdrivers. I have some other ones that are heavier duty, but they feel so good in my hand and they work well. I also have these other German screwdrivers. Weeha's are German, Coke-in, made in Japan, some big Craftsman breaker bars. These are branded Hazets, but Porsche Motorsports branded. Okay. That's the top. Okay, this is my ratchet drawer, and more snap-on, gear wrench, more Tone, more Astro. Again, just, I gotta say, I am so impressed with these Astros. Beautifully balanced, well made, beautifully finished. Mechanisms are smooth. Lifetime warranty. Haven't broken one yet. And I really like the Tones too. Flex head, long pattern. I'll tell you one thing Tony has that's just awesome is they have a 1/2 inch in this micro size, which when you need it is awesome. Again, low back drag, great feel, great balance, great finish. Labeled made in Japan. Then I have a bigger Tone, non-flex, and then a large Tone flex, kind of beefy. This is not the one to grab when clearance is an issue. Oh, I also have the new Icon G2. I like Harbor Freight. I think some of their stuff is great. I think their ratchets are a little bit overpriced for a Taiwanese ratchet. It's also very heavy, not a great balance, not as smooth as the Tones, not as smooth as the Astro, but not bad. I know the first generation had some issues. We'll see if these are any better, but it's a nicely finished ratchet. But this is like 60 bucks online. Not a cheap ratchet. Made in Taiwan. I use magnets for a lot of stuff to keep things in place. Okay, so back to the ratchet drawer. We have gear wrench, we have more snap-on, we have Tone, we have Astro, Tone. This, mostly, I have a lot of tools that are probably older than most people watching this video. This one's older than me. This is a 1955 snap-on, 1/2 inch. It's amazing how similar, really, they are to what they produce today. The tooth count is, you know, a lot coarser, 32 tooth, but still smooth, low back drag, nicely finished. I think their old stuff was actually better balanced than the new stuff. They didn't worry so much about fancy handles and stuff, but this thing works great. And you can still get rebuild kits for it. Still looks good, still cleans up. Switch works perfectly. The detent works great. Awesome. Snap-on flex head. This is a ratchet I honestly rarely use. Another snap-on flex head. Again, I find the balance to be not as good in some of these snap-ons. Matco, even worse. I mean, other than the longevity, if it lasts, this is a locking flex head, so for the times you want to lock it, it's nice to have. And low clearance. Another old snap-on. This is a sliding T-bar. People rarely use these anymore, but I used to use a lot of T-handles. Still like T-handles. Super long extensions in the back. A flex extension. Some cheapo Harbor Freight plastic ratchets. These things hold up great too. They're super light. You know, if I'm draining the oil, sometimes I'll grab one of those. Don't want to get good ones as dirty. These are kind of nice. German Philo T-handles. Throw a socket on there. Get everything started. Pull it off. Do a final torque. Here are mostly extensions and drivers. I love this. They don't make this anymore. It's a snap-on 1/4 inch handle extension. The new ones don't have the female on the top. So with this, you can just pop on a ratchet, and when you're done, give your final tighten. But use it by hand before that. Come on, Snap-on, bring that back. Whenever I see them on eBay, I grab them. That's why I have 2. Hard to find. snap-on breaker bars or speed bars. Again, this one is from the 50s. And actually, if you look at it, you can see he finished it pretty nicely back there. No open joints, it's all polished out, as opposed to still an old one, but a much newer. Now, or even the modern, where they're using an adjustable pin, which is nice because you can adjust the tension. And on this old one, it's a little loose, but it's still a great tool, and 70 years of service. I didn't buy it new, but somebody did. What else do we have? We have the wrench drawer. So we had the Matco combos and the open ends up there. Down here we have another selection of wrenches. We have some gear wrench. We have gear wrench compact. We have a set of very old, again, 1950s Blue Point Supreme. These are my favorite open-end wrenches. The balance is great. The sizes are perfect. The faces are great. No spread. Chrome is a little peeling on a couple of them. Not bad. Amazing wrenches. Better than anything you buy today, I think. US made Craftsman double box. These are nice. I don't use double box a lot, but some Top Tool, big pattern, pretty decent. All the real big wrenches are kept in the main drawers. These are the Mountain / Platinum / Icon double boxes. I've had one of these for a long time. I've had this Mountain one for a while, 13mm, which I've used quite a bit. And I always thought they were kind of expensive, so I never bought the set. But recently I bought the set, and I bought the Platinum set because it was priced right. Doing everything with my left hand here. Been playing around with different organizers. These wrench racks work great. Ernst ones work great. I tried those Alien Space Savers. I thought they were terrible. Threw it away. Set of Top Tool. I just keep them on a piece of Velcro. Some people use a ring, but a piece of Velcro works great for keeping them together. If I need another small wrench. E-Torx box. Again, you see a lot more E-Torx on German cars than you do on some other stuff. Not the old one like this, but the newer Porsches. I think that's it for in here. The driver drawer. This one still needs a little bit more organization. I have some redundancy in here, but I have some Philo screwdrivers, German Weha. These are the chisel head that you can hammer through. I don't use them that often. This is another Weha set of Torx and regular screwdrivers. Some PB Swiss, which are really nice. I like the PB Swiss that they do the Phillips in one color, and they do the, that's a Torx, that doesn't go there. They do the straight blade in red and the Phillips in green. Little Dremel power. I like this one because it turns on when you press down. You don't have to push the button. I heard great things about Vessel screwdrivers, to be honest. I bought a couple. I haven't used them. I always reach for my Wehas. This one is in impact, so you can bang on it like you used to do with those old impact drivers. Again, I haven't tried it. It's got interchangeable bits. We'll see. The jury's still out on that. Torx drivers, hex drivers, small screwdrivers. That doesn't really belong there. These are the Ernst trays, and they're nice because they stack. So underneath it I have more Torx drivers, more hex drivers, some micro screwdrivers. Driver drawer, plier drawer. These are Ernst organizers. They're okay. They slide a little bit, and it wrinkles the mat And I keep most of my bigger pliers in a separate cabinet. But yeah, I mean, you know, you have your snap-ons and your Icon clone of the snap-on, which is pretty damn close. But Icon doesn't clone the smaller one, which is nice. And more snap-on needle nose, more snap-on needle nose. Weehaw makes some nice pliers. These are fairly recent, these Knipex plier wrench. Awesome. I just used them today. They were great. Knipex Cobras. Everybody knows those. Also great. Some smaller channel locks. Made in the USA. More snap-on diagonal cutters. More Weehaw. More Icon clone of snap-on tools. Nice, you know, I don't know. These are, everybody loves these, but Knipex shears, these things are awesome. Whisk shears, I use those constantly. And then these are some Japanese pliers and the engineer pliers, which everybody has cloned for removing broken bolts. I find the ones that are spring-loaded are a pain in the ass to store because they're always springing open. So I bought some heavy-duty rubber bands from Amazon, and I'm trying those to be able to keep my spring-loaded pliers closed so I can keep them semi-organized. Diagonal cutters, wire cutters. I think these are the Icons. Yeah, Icon diagonals, crimpers, channel locks. The Easy Reds are new, these kind of silly things. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever use them, but figured I'd give them a try. Haven't used them yet. What's next? Torque tools. Snap-on, Precision Instruments, NACO 1/4 inch, torque wrenches. I really like the split beams. I really like the split beams. I like that you don't have to reset them when you're done. I like that the batteries never die. I have a Snap-on early generation digital torque. It's okay, it works good. It's always run out of batteries when I don't want it to. Milwaukee cordless ratchets. This is a low torque bit ratchet for hose clamps, screw small nuts, that sort of thing. Adapters, torque sticks, spark plug sockets. And the last drawer, which I haven't really decided what I'm doing with yet. Right now it has hammers in it. It's kind of a waste to dedicate a drawer in my service cart to hammers. They take up a lot of room, they're heavy. But I have some Weehaw soft face hammers. I bought one of these Icons that everybody loves. It's okay, it's nice, overpriced, even at Icon prices. I like the all metal American-made hammers. Use that a lot. I have a lot more vice grips elsewhere, but there's a bunch in here. And I also keep like spares. Like for instance, thin wrenches. I bought these bags on Amazon, and they're kind of nice. Keeps everything together. Take a Sharpie, mark what's in it, throw it in the bag, throw it in the box, and don't have to worry about sorting them out. These are some of the grommets I used up top. And even with all this stuff up here, it closes smoothly. The flashlight is sitting there. And that's it. I'm not going to edit. I'm sure I had some incorrect information. So if you have any comments or if I have any updates on the information, look in the comments below. In case you're curious, I'll give you a quick Quick tour of the turbo. 85 Euro delivery, 911. All original. Usually there's a big intercooler that sits here. Intercooler is gone. It was pretty revolutionary for its day. Doing brakes all the way around. Front brakes, wheel bearings. Rewiring some things. Hooking up an electric oil cooler. Refitted a brand new oil cooler. New oil thermostat, new oil lines, new oil tank. Sort of a slippery slope. And that's it. Thanks for watching.